The Foreword of Mormonism and Masonry. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read for you by Chiquito Crasto. Mormonism and Masonry by Samuel Goodwin. The Foreword. This pamphlet is published on the recommendation of the Grand Lodge Committee on Masonic Education and Instruction, and with the approval of the Grand Master. The general interest in the subject under consideration, its practical bearing, and the fact that nothing has been put in print in recent years, which would serve as a guide to those who seek information, are responsible for the decision to publish. The fact that Latter-day Saints are not received into Masonic Lodges in Utah, either as visitors or members, is of course known throughout the jurisdiction, and to some extent outside of it. Why this is so, it is not so well known. While no claim is made that the subject is here treated exhaustively, the writer at least believes that facts are here assembled which are suggestive of an answer to the query, why, and that they are worthy of consideration. Readers are particularly referred to pages 39 to 45, inclusive, under the caption Reference and Notes. Some additional and interesting material is to be found there. The first 3 chapters were printed in the February and March issues of the Builder of the current year. The remaining portion has not before been in type. SHG, initials for Samuel H. Goodwin. Salt Lake City, Utah, August 15, 1921. End of The Foreword. Read for you by Chiquito Crasto, Birmingham, Alabama. Chapter 1 of Mormonism and Masonry by Samuel Goodwin. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read for you by Chiquito Crasto. Historical. Early contact of Mormonism with Masonry. Nauvoo period. In the latter part of April, 1839, the first steps were taken toward the establishment, in Illinois, of a semi-theocratic community under the leadership of Joseph Smith, the Mormon prophet. Similar attempts had been made by this teacher of a new faith at Kirtland, Ohio, and at several points in the state of Missouri, all of which had come to a disastrous conclusion. The why of these failures does not lie within the province of these chapters. On the date named, certain of the Mormon leaders came up from Quincy, some 50 miles down the Mississippi River, whither they had fled from their troubles in Missouri, and definitely fixed upon a location for a new settlement. The site of this new Zion included the straggling village of Commerce. On the 1st of May, the initial purchase of land was made by a committee headed by Joseph Smith. Soon other extensive holdings were secured, and a year later, when a post office was established there, the Postmaster General rechristened the place Nauvoo in deference to the wishes of the settlers. To this place the saints gathered in large numbers, coming especially from Missouri, where multiplied troubles had beset them. In consequence of this movement, Nauvoo experienced a phenomenal growth from those times. Within 2 years from the time the first land was secured by Joseph Smith, the population had grown from almost nothing to more than 3,000, and when Grand Master Jonas instituted Nauvoo Lodge, March 15, 1842, between 8 and 10,000 people made their homes there. 3 years later, Nauvoo enjoyed the distinction of being the largest city in the state of Illinois, and, with the exception of St. Louis, it had no rival in the Northwest. These people came originally from the older sections of the country, and from foreign lands, more particularly from England, and were largely the fruits of the aggressive missionary policy which had distinguished this church from its inception. Among those who were attracted by the proclamations of this new evangel were a number who were or had been members of the Masonic fraternity. Prominent among these were Dr. John C. Bennett, an Ohio Mason; Heber C. Kimball, one of the first apostles and a trusted friend of Joseph Smith and Brigham Young, who had received the degree in Victor, New York; and Hiram Smith, the prophet's brother, who was also a New York Mason. Early in the summer of 1841, these Masons addressed a communication to Bodley Lodge No. 1, located at Quincy, in which they asked for the usual recommendation in order that they might establish a new lodge at Nauvoo. This request was denied, the reason assigned by Bodley Lodge being that, as these persons.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?